Hello, welcome to lesson 6-2. This is the video notes. This lesson is about factoring polynomials using the GCF. Hopefully you remember what GCF means. Here is our learning target. I can factor polynomials with common monomial factors, GCF. Alright, so this lesson begins on page 4 in your notes packet. Let's go ahead and start with the first task. There's some practice problems, and I'll do a couple of these with you and then let you try to finish some of them on your own. Alright, so we're going to be multiplying polynomials using the distributive property. So I'm going to distribute this 4, and when I do, I'm going to be getting 4 times a minus 4 times 3. Now, if some of you say, well, wait, isn't that 4 times negative 3? Yes, you can do that two different ways. You can either do 4 times negative 3 and put addition here, or you can do put the minus here and just do 4 times 3. Either way will get you the same answer. So I multiply these, I get 4a minus 12, and you're done. Okay, the next problem. Negative 3x squared times x squared and 3x. So watch what happens. 3x squared times x squared plus negative 3x squared times 3x. Now, negative 3x squared times x squared. Well, there's no number in front of the x squared in here, so it's going to be negative 3 times 1 or negative 3. Now I do x squared times x squared. Hopefully you remember this from last year. That is x to the 4th power. It is not 4x, or it is not still x squared. You have to add the exponents when you multiply. Plus, negative 3 times 3 is negative 9. Now if you want to change this from adding a negative to subtraction, that's fine. X squared times x is not x squared. It is x to the 3rd power. Alright, so another way you could write this, negative 3x to the 4th minus 9x cubed. Alright? Okay, I want you to try this next one on your own. We'll see how many of you complete it. I will help you with the next one down at the bottom. Negative 5x squared times these 3 terms, or times this trinomial. So, negative 5x squared times x squared is negative 5x to the 4th. Negative 5x squared times 2x. So, negative 5 times 2 is negative 10. X squared times x is x to the 3rd. And then negative 5x squared times 1 is negative 5x squared. Pretty easy. Alright. I'm going to skip the middle one, let you do this. You're going to need to distribute. And then see if there are any like terms you can combine. So here's another one for you to try on your own. A squared times 2a and a squared times 4. So a squared times 2a is 2a to the 3rd power. A squared times 4 is 4a squared. Pretty easy. With the 2 that I left for you to do on your own, don't worry about getting them wrong. Obviously, if you get them right, then you'll be rewarded for it. I'm just curious to see how many of you will actually try it, and then share if you make any mistakes. Okay, so now we need to get to the factoring. So over on the next page, page 5, we are going to be factoring polynomials using the GCF, so distributing backwards. Factoring and distributing are inverses. So factoring, and then put some space in between, distributing. And then put an arrow pointing both ways. These are inverses. Also, I'll put a star up at the top. When you're done factoring, a check for this will be to distribute. So, if you do the opposite or go backwards from what you do, you will be able to find out if you got the right answer. Alright, so 8x minus 4. So factoring, by the way, factoring means I need to have an answer that is in parentheses. So I look at 8x and I look at 4 and I see, is there anything that both of these terms can be divided by? And there is, 4. So what happens when I divide them by 4? I get 8x divided by 4 is 2x, and minus 4 divided by 4 is 1. Now, if you wanted to check that, you could do the distributive property. 4 times 2x is 8x, minus 4 times 1 is 4. And you get back to the same answer. So that's the check. Alright, now, you don't need to do the check for all of these. I'm going to do some of them with you, but then I'm going to see if you can do some on your own. Okay, so the next one, I look to see what all three terms can be divided by. They can all be divided by 4. They don't all have a term with the variable c in it, so it can't be 4c, it's just 4. So now, divide all of them by 4 and see what you have left. 4c to the third power divided by 4, the 4's cancel and you're left with c cubed, or c to the third power. Minus 8c squared divided by 4 is 2c squared, plus 2. And again, to check it, do the distributive property, see if you end up with the original polynomial. Okay, the next one. This is an example of one that I wanted to do with you. Alright, so what can 14x to the third power and 7x squared both be divided by? 14 and 7 obviously have a common factor of 7. So I know I can divide them by 7. Now, there's x to the third and x squared. Obviously I can divide both of these by x. But actually even more than that, because there's 2 x's here, x times x, and here there's x times x times x, the greatest common factor is actually x squared. So watch what happens. When I divide this by 7x squared, 14 divided by 7 is 2. X cubed divided by x squared, remember you subtract the exponents, and you get x to the first or just x. 7x squared divided by 7x squared. Remember folks, anything divided by itself is 1, so plus 1. There is your factored answer. Alright, I want you to try this next one on your own, see what you get. Let's see, okay. Moving on down, I will do one more with you. How about, I'll let you do this last one here on your own. I'll do the 25x cubed minus 15x squared minus 10x with you. So obviously, when I look at the coefficients, I can divide all of them by 5. So all these will be divided by 5. Also, they all have an x term in them. Now, when I look at the smallest or least degree term, there's only one x. So that's the most or the greatest common factor that I can divide out. So, watch what happens. 25x cubed divided by 5x. So 25 divided by 5 is 5. X cubed divided by x is x squared. Minus 15 divided by 5 is 3. X squared divided by x is x. And then minus 10x divided by 5x is 2. And there's your answer. Okay, so you have 2 to try on your own. If you were confused by any of this, go back and rewatch the video, or come and see me for help. Good luck, and we will see you in math.